Today it's about receiving. When you look at Truth Friday, we're talking about how can we get real in our life, and so we go step by step. Receive is in the freedom pillar. It's the third step. And if you want freedom in your business, in your life, in the way that you receive in your relationships, it's something that's going to take you quantum leaps forward. This is the one that messes us up the most because we don't realize it. I remember working with coaches and I would not really understand how to receive their information. I just kept thinking, how can I keep showing up and keep proving to them that I know what I know so that they know what I know and so they know that I'm really good at what I do, instead of receiving, asking great questions, really being with them and being a person that learns a lot. And I think about this, I always used to think I was really dumb. So it was very hard to receive because I kept telling myself, no matter what information that I have, I'm not going to be able to receive it and actually disseminate it. So it would literally dull my senses to where sometimes I couldn't even hear what somebody was saying. Anybody else have an issue with actually being able to hear while somebody's talking to you? Anybody else have that happen to you before? I've been talking about it lately. So many of us know how to give, but we freeze when it's time to receive. So where in your life do you deflect compliments, help, money, or love without even realizing it? Especially as a business owner, I work with people that are energetically activating their money pulse, and it can be easy where you're going to keep deflecting the money without even really realizing it. So receiving doesn't make you weak. I used to think it did. Pull yourself up with your bootstraps. It tells the world you believe that you are worthy of support. You're giving people support. You know how important that is. Why are you not putting yourself in that special space? This is how we stop blaming and shaming, which is how we are able to stop shaming ourselves for needing, wanting, or desiring more. How can we do that if we don't receive? So what I'm looking at, when I look through all this stuff, I'm just thinking about this. If you're willing to allow support, love, and opportunity and abundance to meet you without guilt, deflection, or sabotage, receiving you will not pass over anymore. It is self-worth and motivation. And we don't receive, we're often still negotiating our value. That's how we can go in and out of really knowing how important we are. That's how we can have our levels where we may start here for the day and feel really, really good. And as the day goes on, we just kind of deteriorate in how we feel about ourselves because we keep having that self-fulfilling prophecy. We keep seeing the things that we believe that we are. And those are patterns, and those patterns need to be cleaned up so that you can not bring yourself down by the end of the day, but you actually start really listening to yourself. And you stay here, but you keep feeding and fueling yourself. Latest Harvard research, it's really interesting. They're talking about how you can speak to your organs, which I say, I love you. I've been learning to say, I love you, where before I would look at myself and try and find every mistake in me because inside I was belittling myself, telling myself I wasn't worthy of stuff. An example, it can still show up. So this morning, last night, I knew that I was going to get up in the morning, work out, do an hour of cardio, but it was like a HIIT class, which I really, really like. And what I ended up doing is when I woke up, I was shaking because sometimes our body is healing from things. My body's healing from things. So I sat and I knew that this was going to be a superpower of mine because it was hard for me to sit down and hard for me to actually do this. But I sat down and I just quieted myself. And by the time I was done, I actually was starting to shame myself because I sat down for that long and I started telling myself I was lazy. When I originally went into that quiet space, that's really a superpower because I used to go and not stop, and I'd be afraid to stop. Now that I'm able to stop and get into it, my new thing is how to clear myself without blaming and shaming myself, blaming myself that this and this is happening, you're not taking care of it, you should be not sitting here. Anybody else? My clients say this all the time, and I'm coaching them through it because it's my superpower too, because I've been learning and utilizing these tools. Where do you sit on the spectrum when it comes to receive and authentically being truthful? Sometimes when you watch these videos, it might be you're just working on your exterior and you're just listening, but you don't realize until you take a deep breath and start speaking to yourself about it. Where is it that you want to start receiving? Is it when somebody tells you have a beautiful piece of jewelry and you deflect it by telling them where you got it? Oh, I got it over here and over there and all that kind of stuff, without really just saying, thank you. Receive. The stronger you do that, the more your nervous system will heal. This is where I want to go in with the 25 plus years in the health and wellness industry. When your body is calm, you're able to hear and see where you're deflecting money, deflecting love, deflecting support. Because if you're giving support out there and you're not receiving it, it's hard to blend a really beautiful relationship. Because if you're giving but the other person isn't able to really truly give, they're going to feel something that they're not worthy in the relationship, because there's give and take. And it's hard to receive from somebody when they're not allowing you to give them, stuff too. Every cell is counting on you in your body. We have about 74 trillion cells, to be able to calm your body, speak to it, so that the cells that are supposed to go away, you don't get scared and hold on to them, because your body will hold on to them and repattern and redo things to hold those cells, because somehow your brain speaks to your body, and your brain is the fight or flight. And if you're not receiving and the fear comes in, your brain literally, not just the way you speak, it'll work that way also. And it will not let anything go. That's why your metabolism slows down. You gain a lot of weight without even realizing why. And so then when you do that, your body holds your old cells, doesn't release a lot. You get a lot of inflammation. And your body so on and so on. And just that compact of more and more stuff going on, that's where chronic stuff starts to occur. So get in there. See what you're learning about your receive. I'd love for you to add a comment. And this really doesn't make you weak. Remember that. And even if it's new today, or you used to do it, but you can get in there deeper, because you're finding those layers that are very thin, that are deeper than the obvious one, which is someone that gives you a compliment. You're like, okay, thank you. But where does receive show in your life, where it still may be showing up, where you're not receiving, but you haven't acknowledged it yet? That's a deep layer thinking one. I love you. Keep bringing peace to your life the best that you can. Hashtag speaker locking arms. Keep speaking to open your voice so that you can stop the blaming and shaming, and tell your body that you love it. Stay in alignment with the Harvard research. We already knew it really helped us, but to really understand under microscope, to be able to watch what's happening with the body once, I think it was 2 weeks into it, all the inflammation went down and all that. So speak to your organs. Really tell yourself that you love yourself. If you have diabetes, really speak to more of your insulin process with your pancreas. If you're having stuff where your gallbladder's having issues or you don't have a gallbladder, really speak to the gallbladder that's gone and the liver, because the liver works 8 times more when it doesn't have the gallbladder. And there's that partnership there, that receiving. If you have heart condition that runs in your family, keep speaking to your heart, talking to your heart about where you can open up more. Because the more you can open up, the more you just know that your heart's going to be okay. I know when I used to do these detoxes with my group, because I've done detoxes throughout the years, I would break out really bad here because this flow right here was not going as smooth as it should through my whole body. So my body was repatterning stuff and getting stuck in certain areas because I was holding in my heart. And your heart is not just the pumping of the energy and action, but if you look at the Heart Math Institute and those people out there that study the heart, you really acknowledge why we say the heart. That's a heartfelt thing. The heart has superpowers for you. That's where you get in deeper into who you are and what you want and what you deserve. All of that. So it comes down to receiving. And it right now, on my plaque on the left, there's my flute. I should have started off with my flute. But receive is the third step to fabulous. Last week we talked about vulnerability. The week before we talked about fabulous. And make sure you get on my YouTube, because that's where this stuff goes. And sometimes we do even shorts to be able to look at the special things that we put together at this point. Love you. Namaste. Take a deep breath. You got this.